Alright. Hey guys, Echo here. This is going to be another replay analysis. This is a replay submitted by someone who signed up through DotaCoach. They didn't want to do a one-on-one call with me for whatever reason. Maybe they were shy, maybe they're not comfortable with their English, who knows. It's a good option for anyone who has any of those things going on, but still wants to get coaching. But yeah, okay, so they were juggernaut in this game. Didn't give me any specific things that they wanted to go over, I don't believe, other than getting out of 3K. Which is fairly vague, but it usually involves playing well. So let's just talk about that. Okay, so their juggernaut. The CS is pretty good for the time, I believe. I can't see the game time for whatever reason. Still not used to the new scoreboard, but it does look pretty nice. I'm a big fan. Alright, so they built Phase, Battle Fury into Yasha item, fairly standard. I can actually look and see what they built, I believe, and in what order, which is extremely helpful. Yep, okay, cool. Man, this is so good. Holy shit, this is amazing. Okay, so they went Phase into Battle Fury immediately with no Aquila. That's one mistake. We'll talk about that in game. Then they build it into a Yasha, but they buy Blade of Alacrity and Ultimate Orb. That's another mistake. Should always go Yasha first. After that, they end up building a Scotty. It's questionable, but not horrible. Then they end up going Butterfly after that. Okay, so let's look at the enemy heroes and see like what would be appropriate in this game. So key abilities to look out for right now, like that are the big team fight abilities on the enemy team, are Doom, Call, and Ricky Smoke Cloud. Everything else is fairly negligible. Viper Strike could be a problem, Mana Leak can be a problem, so can Blinding Light, but all of those things can be manted or purged off with Blade Fury. So they're really not too big a deal. The real big deals are Ricky Smoke Cloud and Call and Doom, because you don't really have counterplay to those once they go off anyway. So those are what you need to look out for and what you need to build around in most cases. Manta is a great option in this game, just because like one, it purges Mana Leak, two, you can dodge Viper Strike, but really the most useful thing about Manta is that when Doom blinks on you or Shadow Blades up to you or whatever, if you have like a split second to use your Manta, it can make it really difficult for him to actually get the Doom off on you. Honestly, most of the time he probably won't want to Doom you until he gets Ags, but that's a whole different thing. Like, doesn't really make sense to Doom somebody who has like really high right click damage, unless like that right click damage is through an ability like OD or Huskar or whatever. But most Dooms will just end up doing the carry anyway. But either way, let's jump into game. I would have personally built something like a Blink. I think Blink is pretty high value against these heroes, specifically the Coddle. Coddle is one of those heroes that can win a team fight on his own, and it looks like this one actually ended up like having the highest net worth on his team. So I'm gonna assume he did pretty well, but I could be wrong. But yeah, so he's one of those heroes that you just want to like take out of the fight right away. Otherwise, the Blinding Light and Mana Leak basically like end up winning them the fight, depending on how things go, of course, and like who has what abilities and all that, and who has what items. Especially like as the game starts getting a little bit later and later, like and BKB timers start wearing off. So we're in game. Okay. So you start off with 2 Tangos, Stout Shield, and 2 branches. This is totally fine. No issues with this. You can opt to buy a Fairy Fire instead of one of the branches, but completely fine. No issues with the items. You immediately run to scout a gank, or scout like just where the offlaner is coming, but it ends up being the enemy team smoking here, which is pretty interesting. You get spin, and then it looks like you decide to fight for a little bit, which is kind of funny. You do need to be a little careful, but you're gonna be fine. Yeah, the only way you die here is like if you don't spin the Mana Leak for whatever reason and you let yourself get slowed by Viper, but you're gonna get away here. You'll be fine. The downside to this is that you don't. You're gonna be pretty low for lane. You guys are fighting this, and that's interesting. Okay. It sort of works out, and you almost have spin, but you're still quite low. Okay, so let's go back and watch all of this again. Okay. So initially I don't know if you were like looking at your hero or not. I guess I should actually check. Because I know you had this like little period where you were looking at the fountain. Definitely should back up I know you weren't expecting like a 4-man gank or whatever, but should definitely play a little bit more passive than this, or defensive, and just run immediately down. I think that makes more sense rather than running all this way. Yeah, because now, okay, so if you run down, it's the exact same thing as this, as running this way, except you're in lane. Because right now they can actually zone you out of lane. What they could do is they could have Ricky just fuck with you if you try to walk back. So you would have to go all the way around to be safe. So like if you, let's just say this fight doesn't happen here, and you continue running towards the middle, and just run towards the middle or whatever to get away, Ricky could very easily just track you and look for you in the jungle and like keep fighting you. He wouldn't kill you because he's like a level 1 Ricky. He's not intimidating at all. He doesn't do any damage. But it's still something that you need to think about. And like that could stall you out of lane. So really there's no point to go left. You had the pathing advantage here. You can just run down right away. But you guys do end up getting first blood, which is great. Certainly mostly a misplay on their part, but it's okay. No issues really. Alright, this is not acceptable, yeah. Alright. So, and choosing to go in here is like really silly. They could all have just been waiting right here. Like, what's stopping them from just having 3 heroes right here? They could have just like turned and killed you right now. They actually should have just turned and killed you. You would have no counterplay to that. Like, they all just attack you and you'd just die. Like, they have 2 ranged heroes. Doom would get 1 to 2 hits off depending on how good he is. It just would have been really bad for you. It was only the Coddle doing damage to you there and like one hit of Viper. So you should have died there, honestly. Definitely next time just go around and play it safe. Okay, you're going to have to go back to base now. So it's almost like, because of that fight, it's almost like you started the game with just 1 set of tangos. You have 1 extra, which is nice. Here you should honestly just buy a salve or another set of tangos. Don't go to lane with just 5 tangos. Okay, you end up buying a slippers. Definitely not worth it. I would say tangos would serve you like 100 times better in this case. Maybe 100 is a little bit of an exaggeration, but whatever. Okay, so I hit jump ahead. Fuck. At least we get a little bit of foreshadowing of what's going on here. Okay. So you walk into lane. Rasta aggro's a creep. You're denying right now. Should be actively doing it a little more. And here's where you make a mistake. Right here. So it's really, really important that you never tank the range creep in lane. Or not without like some kind of calculation going on. So here, like watch your positioning really carefully. So you go for the deny. Then you walk back. And then you walk right back in before their range creep ends up aggroing your range creep. So what that is going to do is their range creep is hitting you, and your range creep is hitting their range creep. So your range creep is going to have more HP than their range creep, especially when you start attacking it like this. And that means that you're going to have a 2 range creep wave. And that means that the lane is going to push pretty much no matter what you do here. You don't really have the ability to deny this wave back, so you have to pull at this point in order to like prevent Doom from getting XP. Okay. Or you can kill him this way. Okay, that's good. So this is like another way you can recover. Usually that's like a much harder option because this guy needs to make the mistake of being out of position. So if Doom sees that you have 2 range creeps here, all he needs to do is just sit here. Just sit under his tower, and he can't lose. Like he'll get all this XP, and there's nothing you can do about it except pull. So this is Doom's fault, but it's a good play by you guys for going for it. Okay, only criticism here is you could have been a little bit faster on the uptake. Like you could have realized that Rasta was walking up. I wouldn't go for that last hit as well, and you were like a little bit late on your follow up. Also, there's actually another thing that I just noticed. So okay, when you're Juggernaut, one of the most important things that you need to learn as Juggernaut in the laning phase is that your spin is your chasing spell. It's not like you don't want to just use it right away if you're doing damage to someone, and if your goal is to kill somebody in a CC. And, kill them right after or whatever, like just kill them using some sort of CC spell of some sort of your allies. Basically, like when you're spinning, you can't. Okay, so I've explained this in other videos a little bit better. How do I explain this? Fuck. I wish I could speak English, guys, and I wish I knew anything about DotA. Okay. So let's just watch and see what happens, and I think that will let me explain it a little bit better. Okay, so the gank starts off by Rasta shackling the Doom. You start off by spinning right away. So what you should be doing here is you should be right-clicking, and you'll see why in a second. So right now you could still be right-clicking Doom, and you still could be attack moving. If you were attack moving, right here, this last attack, like right now, would be the point at which you would start spinning, because then it would be like, okay, you wouldn't be able to catch up to him at that point, but you would still be in spin range, so you would be able to do damage to him while running, and he was out of your attack range. I hope that makes sense. Basically, like long story short, is if somebody is stunned in lane and they don't have some sort of escape spell like Doom, or like if they were Faceless Void, for example, you wouldn't want to spin, or you would want to spin because it does more damage. So if they don't have some sort of escape spell or blink or whatever, then you want to just attack while they are stunned, and then as soon as they're out of your attack range, then you want to spin and chase, because like you cannot attack while moving, but you can spin while moving. So when they're stuck and CC'd, it makes more sense to use your attacks and then use spin to chase. I hope that makes sense. Okay. So you go back and buy Poorman shields. Totally fine. I would wait to skill Blade Dance. It's okay. I guess in this lane you're not really under too much pressure, so you can get away with it, but I would still wait. I don't even personally like leveling Blade Dance early. I usually prefer holding the points until I'm ready to fight, just because like I feel it fucks up a lot of my CS and like wave control. But it's whatever. It's personal preference, I guess. Okay. Okay, this was a good opportunity to fight. Oh no 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 no! Oh my god. Okay. So Rasta's initiation here was a little bit sloppy, but like you should still see this unfolding. Like while you're last sitting, you should just be flicking your camera up to see what Rasta is doing. You don't necessarily have to react, but in this case, like Doom he's very vulnerable here. Rasta gets centaur stomped. You can just run up and trust that Rasta is going to CC. You can even ping it. You can ping the Doom if you want, and Rasta will get the picture. You're around 3k, so this is like perfectly reasonable. You could very easily have killed the Doom here, or like at least forced him back. He used Scorched Earth, so like yeah, he's not gonna have his regen available, and he can maybe go for a kill in a sec or in 20 seconds. But that was definitely a kill opportunity. Okay, good. You buy boots. Important. I should actually look at wave equilibrium. Let's look at that. Because it looks like it's fucked up a little bit here. Okay. So here they have a slight wave advantage, like a creep advantage. Here you should not be denying. Basically, like, if you keep the wave as it is right now and just thin it out a little bit, the wave will be frozen in front of your tower, and that's ideal. You don't want your creeps to die right now. Basically, if your creeps die, you have to tank their creeps, which is fine. But you prefer not to tank their creeps if possible. So if your creeps die and you don't tank, their creeps are going to run to your range creep, which is in tower range, and that means that your lane is eventually going to push, and you don't want that, obviously. Like, that's just safe lane 101. You don't want your lane to push in most cases. Okay. So what happens here? So because you're tanking the range creep again, you're going to have another double range creep wave. Okay, and you also spin on this wave, so that's going to push it even more. Okay. So what you could be doing right now is you could be mentally preparing to pull this camp, or you could tell Rasta to pull or something like that. Ideally, Rasta goes to pull because like that's kind of what he should do, but you can't really expect that in pubs. So okay, okay, this should be a kill. Okay, so you did it again. Definitely like just trust me when I say that it's better to right click first while this guy's CC'd. Also, I think you lose some DPS. Like oh no, okay, that was just a glitch. Okay, that's fine. You do lose a bit of DPS when he runs down, but yeah. It just makes way more sense to right-click while he's CC'd and then chase with spin afterward. Okay. That kill was definitely much closer than it should have been, but it's okay. You guys end up getting it. Okay, don't sell your branch next time. You can just wait, it's fine. Or you can sell your Tango or eat a Tango, either one. You could have just ate a Tango there. You could use the extra regen, so I would do that. Okay. Okay, you buy your phase, great. careful with taking free hits like this. Even though this doesn't matter, it's like really inconsequential. Still, like keep this in mind because like this is a good trade on Doom's part. He gets a little bit of a little tiny bit of damage on you here, which is any little bit helps for him. Make sure you're not taking creeps and all that. Okay, good. You thin out the wave. Okay. Yep, that's good. Okay. So you do have to respect Doom a little bit here. He does have better stats than you right now, especially with the Hellbear. You also don't have too much regen, so... Okay, yeah, he zooms you. Okay. Okay. So, you do a silly thing here. So, yes, you're going to die. If Doom chooses to chase you, you're dead. And there's nothing you can do about it. But instead of running around tower and staying in Scorched Earth range, just hit him. All you need to do is hit him here. Like, if you just turn and hit him, like right now even, you can trap him under the tower with your creeps. So like the first movement of running under tower is fine, but you definitely don't want to just run around and do nothing. This guy's getting pretty low, and he's going to be even more low when he leaves tower, yeah. I'm pretty sure that even though he has Scorched Earth regen, you could have killed him or gotten the return kill if you just like stopped and started hitting him. So I would do that there. But let's look at like the initial engage and see like what actually went on here. So Doom is like very clearly playing differently here. Like he wasn't nearly this aggressive early on. It's pretty obvious that he wants to go for something, or you know he's changing his tune, so to speak. So this is just something that you need to keep in mind, like, or you need to like kind of notice. Like he's completely shifted his playstyle. Maybe it's because he knows Rasta is not in lane anymore because he's showing top, something like that. But who knows really? Either way, his playstyle is very clearly shifted. You can use that and just play it a little bit passively if you think the hero has kill potential on you or whatever. Okay. So yeah, I think you should have been hitting him there, but that's okay. It's whatever. Maybe you get a few lucky crits, who knows. Definitely just running around doesn't make sense. Okay. And then he just... Okay. I want to see what this guy was doing. Because like, there's no way you actually just ran up to him and killed him. Okay, you just ran up to him and killed him, and he didn't react at all. Okay, well, I mean, that's... You gotta take what you're given, I guess. Don't really have too much to say about that. Good job. There's no way he should have died there, but, I mean, that's okay. Okay. So this is around the time when you should start getting an Aquila. It's really, really important that you don't skip your Aquila or like early game items on any kind of carry. Like if you go straight from Phase Boots to Battle Fury, you're not buying any HP. And HP is like an important stat because if you lose all your HP, you fucking die. And dying it sucks because you don't get golds, and gold wins Dota. So you want to buy HP. Like please just buy at least an Aquila. It not only does it give you a ton of or a decent amount of HP, it also like helps you farm much more quickly than just going straight Battle Fury. It gives you like 19 damage or something ridiculous. I don't know how much actually it is. I can't open the shop. All right, here we go. I think it gives like 10 damage and 9 agi. So it gives 19 damage to Jug, in addition to armor and mana regen, and the armor aura, and some HP. So it's a fantastic item. Please just buy it. Like just trust me, it's really good. Just buy it after Phase Boots. Just because you're going Perseverance next for Battle Fury or whatever, it doesn't mean you should skip out on your Aquila. Okay, this Doom has way too much HP to do this. Like, he has 1200 HP with just Wand and Headdress, so you can't go for this kind of play. You're completely Oom now, so that really sucks. Okay, also you should buy a TP. You have the slot for it, so there's no reason not to have it. Okay, also I've noticed that when your team is fighting, you very rarely actually look and see what's going on at the fight. It can be really beneficial to just like look and like get HP values, anything like that, just to see if like you're able to TP to a lane and help out or whatever. You get a better idea of what's going on if you do that, and that's important when you're playing carry. Okay. So Doom is walking behind you here, but it looks like you don't see him. Yeah. Okay, looks like you're gonna die. Actually, you're really close. Okay, you barely end up dying. You might have been able to spin, but it's okay. All right. So let's look at this. So Doom was just laning against you. He was back here. I believe he was showing in lane just before this. Yeah, you were just actively trading with Doom. Okay. So when he just randomly runs away, like, you can't assume that he's gone. Don't let yourself just like veg out and realize like, oh hey, nobody's in my lane. This is great. I'm just gonna farm. You gotta realize that like Doom is up to something. He's either jungling or he's going for a gank or he's going mid or TPing top or whatever. You gotta know that something's up. So you need to respect that, and especially the fact that like he can like actively pressure you with Doom. Okay. So when Doom is missing, and then somebody TPs in, that should be even like an even bigger indicator of what's going on. Because like, okay, if Doom showed top here, like if he showed that he TP'd top and then somebody TP'd, okay, obviously Doom is not going to be there. But when Doom just walks away into the jungle and then somebody else TPs, you need to like immediately be on edge. In this case, like they timed it fairly well, so it would be tough, but it's just something you need to think about. Like, oh, my lane opponent is not here. That's weird. Where is he? Yeah. I don't have any specific advice for that, but that's just a map awareness thing, really. Okay, I would like to see you TP or look around the map before you TP. You've done this twice in a row now, where you just TP bottom blindly. You need to look and open your eyeballs and check out what heroes are, like what items the enemy heroes have, what their HPs are, and stuff like that, where the waves are positioned. It's just important. Like you can't just blindly TP to your lane just because you're the carry. You're still playing Dota. You're not playing like, okay, you're playing Dota. You're not playing like a bottom lane simulator, or I don't know. I wish I could like make a good joke or make a good analogy here. Your job is to win the game, like by killing the enemy's ancient, right? There's no like specific script for you to follow, but as a carry, like people often think that like, oh, I'm the carry, so I go bottom and farm, and then win my team the game after I get 6 items. But like you're just a hero in the game of Dota. Like don't think of yourself as a carry or whatever. Just like always look around, always be taking in information, and always be ready to like follow up in a fight or follow up on a fight or something like that. Like you need to be looking for opportunities like you did here. Okay. So here you were just pushing. You see that Viper is just like kind of disrespecting you. He doesn't have any like special items except for this Quelling Blade, which is really special. You end up just chasing him with Phase Boots and Omni. I want to see your inputs here. Okay. So here chasing with spin is totally fine because that's what you're initiating with. Like he's not CC'd, so you're not missing out on any DPS. That's totally fine. Okay. If you want, you can try to see if you can get Axe to call. You can just like walk up to the creeps and stay like just barely out of his range, but look like you're about to go in. That's an option here. Just be careful. Basically what that does is if you bait him to use call, you basically know you have like 10 seconds to just last it freely. So that's fine. Totally optional though. By no means necessary. Okay, so Doom is missing again. You definitely need to be watching mid to see what's going on here. Ideally, you would have your Aquila right now, so you could push harder. It looks like you do realize that you need to push right now, which is good. Okay, you don't. Okay, so this is a game-losing play by not pushing right now. So the enemy team is showing all 4 heroes on the map, and one of them is like really fucking low. And you knew that if you were watching, and if you were watching the dive. So the enemy team all dives mid, and Ricky is pushing top. That much you know. There's also a huge wave top. Basically, like you have the definition of space right now. Like there's nothing the enemy team can do to pressure you right now. They couldn't TP anyone specifically. Nobody is healthy enough, even if it was Ricky. Like he wouldn't be able to pressure you off the tower. So by you not hitting this tower and applying a little bit of pressure, you are potentially like gutting your carry potential for this game. You need to be hitting the tower right now instead of doing neutral creeps. Like this is a camp you do when you're not feeling safe. Your goal should be to always push the wave as hard as you can when there's nobody here. At least, you know, after you get a certain amount of items. You definitely don't do neutral creeps here. Definitely push. Please. If you're having trouble getting out of 3k, then this is why. And also, you just gave up a wave for no reason. It didn't make any sense. Like, this farming pattern that you did is good for cleaving heroes, but Juggernaut is not a cleaving hero naturally until he gets Battle Fury. So next time, just like do this camp, then go to the small camp, and then go here, and that's fine. Also, you should eat this tree before you do that. Looks like you ate one there, but yeah. Don't just like let this creep wave die and hit your tower. Like, not only is this bad because you're missing XP, but the enemy team also has information here. Like, they know that nobody is bottom, which is helpful. Okay. Okay, you need to chill. Don't. Your mana is really valuable. If you're mana leaked, like, don't just run around. Okay. Okay, so you guys end up grouping bottom, because this is the last outer tower, so that's okay. Viper goes in. Viper strikes. You spin on 2 heroes here. This is really, really good. Okay. Oh god. Okay, back up. Okay, you're dead. Really close anyway. Oh no, you get healed and I don't think you would have died anyway. There's no more tower shots. Okay, so let's watch this one more time. It was a bit weird because the fight just started off by Viper striking. Pretty strange, but all good. And he also Viper striked the Treant. God knows why, but whatever. Maybe he was just trying to catch him out. Okay, so first thing you could do here is drop your healing ward. I think that would be good for a fight against this team, especially when they have a Coddle and he's like clearly blasting. That would have been a good option. You can just pop your healing ward, put it in the middle of all these wards, then spin. That would be okay. So 125, 90, okay. Oh, actually, I don't know if you could do that. So you wouldn't have mana for Omni Slash if you did that. So maybe I'm wrong, actually. Fuck. Would you if you had an Aquila, though? Hold on. Okay, so you started off this fight with full mana, right? Okay, 386. Aquila gives 3 ints. I wish I could see. There we go, okay. So each point of int gives you 12 mana. Okay. This is good, so I should actually know this. Okay. 386, 36. So you would have 422 mana if you buy an Aquila. 275. That's 147. That's 90. Okay, so you wouldn't have mana to use healing word, so I was incorrect. So you play this fight pretty perfectly. This is totally fine. Up until this point. So you don't drop your healing word because you won't have mana to use all your spells. I do know that a lot of juggernauts will go with the stats build so that you can use all your spells. Maybe that's what I was like. That's not what I was referring to because I honestly just forgot. But I do remember that you should be able to use all your spells, and I think that's a skill build thing. I know the most common build for, or at least when I was playing, was like something like this at 11. It was 4-4-1-2, and then you get stats for the other points. I believe that was build anyway. There's something similar to that. I know there are a lot of stats involved. Basically, you want to be able to cast your spells. Your spells are really strong, even at level 1. Like, even just a level 1 healing word is really, really powerful. So I prefer that sort of skill build. But anyway, it's whatever. Doesn't matter so much. My only gripe with this fight was you chose to like dive the Coddle, basically. You did bounce to him, so you don't have too much of a choice. But right here, you should just back up right away. It's pretty close. Okay, here it looks like you farm your way back to base. Totally fine. You get your Battle Fury. Here it would be fine to spin as well. Just do that. Or you could spin on this wave and then go back. That'd be fine as well. Definitely. Okay, so you definitely want to go back. Your mana is too valuable on this hero. Honestly, you could stay here if you had your Aquila, because you would have enough mana regen to stay. But I still think going back right then would have been an ideal play. But it's okay. No worries. You're definitely not going to be ready to fight right now. And there's likely going to be a fight bottom based on like where their heroes are positioned and stuff. Okay. So I believe you just did that again. Okay. So your approach to this was wrong in a couple different ways. Okay. So right now you're pushing top, which is great. You look bottom, and you TP. You see the Viper is really low, so you TP. Okay, that's sort of fine. The problem is he can just run away right then. Like he doesn't. Okay, he actually just goes invis. Holy shit. Do you like forget that he's here or something? Or did you just not see that he shadow emulated? Okay, maybe you saw he went invis, but you didn't see the shadow emulate. But either way, you should have just spawned on the Viper. That would have been a better play than going after Coddle. But okay. Anyway, let's just ignore this Viper. Let's pretend he doesn't exist. If you're chasing a Coddle, you don't chase him with spin. That's because he can just turn around and mana leak you after you're done. So unless you kill him with a spin, you're gonna just get kited really hard. In this case, he blinding lights, which is kind of a mistake. He should mana leak and then blinding light, so you lose even more mana. But the point is, this guy can not even try. As long as he casts an ability and then runs away, he'll get out, and you can't do anything about it. Whereas if you chase him with phase boots, and then when he turns to mana leak you, then you spin, or when he turns to blinding light, then you spin. That's how you chase Coddle, as this hero anyway. Then you end up running back into their heroes, and you just die. Not much to say about that, really. Definitely should have just gone for the Viper kill if you saw him. Then back off. I don't even know if I necessarily agree with the TP in the first place, because it'll be one kill and then the fight's over. So I think you would have been better off just pushing top, but that's beside the point. And that's also with hindsight, so. Okay. Okay. So let's go back a little bit. So you TP'd mid and check bottom to see what's going on. You missed out on the DD, which kind of sucks, but it's okay. You send one of your illusions to scout or push mid, either one. Looks like you're pushing mid with them. Great. The other one is scouting. I have issues with how you're doing this. Okay. So I believe this was a good TP. Let's look. So Doom is coming in. Yeah, this is a fine TP. You see your panda's doomed. You don't really have any way to kill these heroes, so this is totally fine. Okay. Before I was saying I disagree with your choice to go jungle here. I think you very clearly should have gone top and just started pushing, or gone and pushed mid, either one. There was a lot going on down here. Again, you just need to take advantage of the space and push towers. But the choice of TP was totally fine. Especially since you guys should get tower here. Okay, you guys just back off. Okay, what the fuck? Yo, dude, you need to get towers. Your job is to kill towers as carry. Remember, it's to kill the ancient through any means necessary. So when you win a fight and then go fucking jungle, this is game losing. Stop doing this. If enemy heroes cannot get into your lane because they're dead or because they're in another lane with no TP, then go push that fucking tower. Just kill towers. That's how you win as carry. Always push lanes over jungling. You jungle way too much on this role. Okay. If you do this camp, I'm gonna slap you. Okay. Okay, please go push. Continue pushing. Good. No. Okay, no. You don't go to this fucking camp. Go push. God damn it, dude. Okay. So you see fucking everyone here. Ricky is dead. Coddle, Viper are showing bottom. Doom is showing bottom. The only one who's missing is fucking Axe, and he's not gonna solo kill you. You're a juggernaut with Battle Fury and phase bits. It's pretty much impossible for you to die. Just go push. Okay, you end up TPing. This is probably fine, but you should have been pushing during this time instead of doing a camp. Okay, so you have Omni. This Doom can die very easily. You cancel it. What the fuck? Okay, I'm totally lost. this is okay. This is your second opportunity to TP in, kill a Doom, and then get their tower. But instead, you decide to stay top and get the small camp. Okay. See, you've made like a lot of game-losing rotational decisions here. Like, you just need to push towers. That needs to be your goal. Stop doing neutral camps so much. Like, it's good to get neutrals and get farm on the way, but it's the key word is on the way to the lanes. Like, the lanes are what matter. Nothing else matters. Okay. Wait, why did you back off here? So here you buy TP and back off when there are so many people showing bottom. Okay. Yeah, again, you should have just been pushing top. Like, the best way you can help your team if they're this far out and you don't feel like you can go to the fight is by pushing lanes. Like, you're going to get somebody to TP there, or you're going to get a tower, or you're going to get a Rax. Like, just... It's so important that you push lanes and stop doing fucking neutral camps, dude. So you're going to invis walk all the way down bottom. If this doesn't work out, it's such, like... it's such a big gamble when you could just get towers here for free. It'll literally be free. Okay. So you guys do end up getting a kill, and you finally get this tower. Even though this should already be down, it's still, like, good. You finish your Manta, that's great. Then you go back to doing neutrals, okay. Okay. So, I don't want to cut this short, but from everything I've seen, you have very, very, very serious rotational issues for your MMR. You should never have situations where you win a fight and then go do neutral camps. Like, if you win a fight and kill 4 heroes, and you're next to a tower that's still up, and you're a juggernaut or any kind of carry that does right-click damage, there better be like 1 hero left alive that can like solo kill you. Otherwise, if you're going to jungle, then you're doing an extremely wrong thing. Like, you need to make a shift in your gameplay to where like everything goes towards killing towers. Like, that's what matters as a carry hero, and that's why I advocate split pushing so much. Like, if you're constantly pushing towers, that means you're pushing creeps, and that means you're creating pressure. I mean, pressure is obviously good. I guess it's like pressure doesn't have any like tangible benefits other than like having a high chance of forcing people to rotate and stuff. But just trust me when I say that pressuring is the most important thing in Dota, like as a carry. Like, it's I'm not sure how to explain this otherwise. It's just extremely important that like you always try to fight to push creep waves as much as you can. Like, look for any opportunity you can to push a creep wave. Like, I guess maybe you were scared of the Axe this whole time, but unless Axe has a partner or like additional damage source, he's not going to solo kill you. He has no way to do so. You can just run away after he calls you. And you have Healing Ward, so it's not even like he can send you back to base or whatever. Like, there's no reason for you to be this scared. Okay. So, honestly, I think I'm going to wrap things up there. Just go with what I said about the split pushing thing. It's super, super important that you get this down, dude. And it's honestly much easier than like most people think. Just like look for the enemy threats. If a bunch of enemy threats like, okay, Doom, Ricky, and Viper are showing bottom, and Axe is the only one missing, know that you're fine. You don't need to worry about the Axe. Like, just because Axe is missing and he has a blink dagger doesn't mean he's going to be able to kill you. Like, I don't know how to explain it otherwise. Yeah. Okay. So that's my advice to you. It's just like really work on pressuring the map. Because your laning was pretty fine. You had like some suboptimal movements and stuff in lane, and like you didn't know how to use your spells properly. But hopefully the beginning of the video helped with that. But really, the most important thing you need to work on is the equilibrium thing with like the range creeps that we talked about and the split pushing thing. So just focus on those things, and I think you'll be fine, especially if you're around 3K already. All right. Thank you for watching. Hope this is helpful. Good luck, man.